Greetings, Starfinders. Welcome in to another fine, albeit drizzly Monday. My name's Jayven Fox. Welcome to the Secret Lab. And sorry for the slight delay in getting started tonight. I've been having some I say slight, quite major technical issues behind the scenes. But it's because I've been trying to spend time with the mini foxes. Speaking of which, this time next week, Starfinder Junior will be inserting itself into the flow of the season. So we're heading into the season finale this week, where we're going to take a quick week off to have a little bit of prequel, a little bit of backstory, featuring Baba Fox as a young Clara Gale, and other Baba Fox as a somewhat chaotic Skittermander. So make sure you tune in next week for Starfinder Junior, which I'm hoping to shoot this week with the little uns. So it'll be family-friendly chat next week, but make sure you swing by for that. Thank you for the gift sub to CB, Don Dark. Appreciate you, buddy. I've got no test tubes, because I've even had problems with my test tubes. That's where we are today. But I'm going to take a swig of this red wine. Yes, that's right, folks. It's a red wine session, so hold on to your fucking hats. Anyway, we're going to run the credits, and we'll get into this thing. I have no idea what's going to happen tonight. Everything I'd planned is in a complete mess. So, don't worry though, I'm sure the party will be very, malleable and helpful, so I have no concerns. Yeah, okay, right, let's do this, shall we? Okay, welcome in, crew of the Rusty Mustang. How are we? Welcome as well, CB, Don Dark, Vampire Child, and anyone else out there hanging with us in chat this evening. It's so nice to have you here. So, quick roundup then. Tail end of last week, you struck a deal with Ashino and the cats over at the Rouge Saloon to relinquish the coordinates of your Nebutab and Nebupatch stash in return for some advance info on the layout and kind of spec of the Garza clan HQ. You also had the world's most uncomfortable double date with two Yusoki. Fix and TikTok. Fix obviously being the rando guy you ran into at the Rouge Saloon, and TikTok being the explosive expert who Ormanganda and Face purchased some demolition charges from and a couple of grenades. What else did we do last week? Blaz was busy. Gary. Blaz was busy corrupting Gary even further and giving him the friendship code, the small patch, the small hack that he'd cobbled together. That essentially freed Gary to make decisions of his own, the ramifications of which are still unclear. But Gary is currently out there somewhere in Kota Bebas, attempting to make friends with the other, well, I say Gary's, other Allens, but how many of them may become Garys, only time will
I
tell.
feel like Alan Corp is going to be on our backs after this.
I can't imagine the Allen Corporation being wildly pleased with this interference, but who knows? Maybe they'll just issue a little security update and there'll be no problems. Could happen, couldn't it?
True.
Also,
is season 3 going to be us versus Alan Corp?
well, on the subject
Alan
of
Corp, a division of Arco Corp.
I was going to say Alan Core and Arco Core team up to try and take us down.
well, you did, of course, also investigate the disappearance of Dolores Maria, the local investigative journalist who vanished a couple of years ago. She was renowned for her exposés on the local organised crime networks here on Marianas. Although you did find out at the end of last episode that the last piece she was working on was actually a low-level piece looking into potential corporate corruption here on Marianas, involving Arcacore, a name that obviously rings familiar to you guys, as they were the corporation that ran Hangar 42 back on Absalom Station, where you first gained notoriety in this part of the universe. You also, as we rounded up last week, were greeted with the sound of distant explosions ringing out over Kota Bebas, as yet unknown the reason for these explosions. So, with with that in mind, I'll let you kick things off this week. You, I think, headed back to your hotel in an Allen, in a random Allen. The explosions had just gone off. So why don't we just pick up from there? And
Guys, what the fuck was
you can
that?
take the lead and help me out.
Guys, what the fuck?
I mean,
Let
it
me-
You
wasn't
guys
me.
still got your bombs, right?
Yeah, we didn't use any. Wait, We're in a Gary, right, or an Allen?
You're in
Please,
an
we're
Allen, yeah, a standard Allen at the moment.
I'm gonna get the Allen to stop, and I'm gonna get out and try and fly up and see if I can see where these things are, these explosions.
Okay.
Guys, I'm just gonna go fly up and see if I can see this shit. Okay, stay there.
Okay, you request for the Allen to just pause your journey. The gullwing doors flick open, and you take to the skies. Now, from this, your elevation, it's a pretty built-up city. Kota Bebas is kind of the capital here on Mariana 6, so you can't get direct line of sight. You can see the two smoke columns rising above the city. But you can't seem to see the source. They're quite a ways off, several miles off, spread out across the city, and it's not immediately apparent to you. There's certainly none of the big skyscrapers, as far as you can tell. So yes, no further
Okay,
clues from this
well-
distance, I'm afraid.
I'm gonna fly down. Just right. Well, guys, it's probably nothing. The explosions are ages away. We don't have time for this. We've got a mission.
Where am I?
You're in the taxi.
all
Everyone's
there.
everyone's
Well,
together in
together.
the
Everyone was in the Allen.
Mm-hmm.
Plaz ignores Face's instruction that this is fine and immediately jumps on the Cortex trying to find out what the fuck's going on.
Okay. So you search the local net. This happened seconds ago. So as yet, there are no reports coming through, even on the sort of the equivalent of the social media here on the planet. The first messages that start to appear are general confusion. But yeah, nothing, no news
There
as
must
yet.
be a news team down there live. Alan, have you got show us on the TV the news, quick. Chop chop.
Tune in to Channel 6, the 24-hour Marianas News Network. He flashes up a rolling. News has started to come in because they're pretty quick. It's a pretty connected world, but the newscasters seem pretty confused. They're just reporting on general chaos at two potential bombing sites. There are as all 24-hour news channels do, in the absence of hard facts, they're speculating wildly. There's concern that this may be a return to the troubles of 30 years ago with the city centre bombings. There's concern it could have been an accident, but of course the second explosion is starting to make that seem unlikely. But yeah, they're wildly speculating. But they're getting the reports from the scene are basically of 2 explosions having taken place in the city centre.
Do they say where they? So in the city centre, just not super close to us.
Yeah.
Okay,
like
roll-
a few miles away from us.
okay,
I
but
roll
still in the
perception
city. Okay, that's good.
to look for smoke.
Can you roll perception to look for smoke?
I know where the smoke is.
I mean,
I've
you
seen
don't
the
need to.
smoke,
Yeah, you don't need to roll perception. There are 2 columns of smoke rising over the city, unless there's something else you were looking for.
How about we just tell Alan to drive towards the smoke?
Do we have time for this? We need to go kill this guy.
There's no clock.
Jay, what district?
Maybe it's a distraction.
Jay, is it in the southwest district, or can we tell, or is there any reports to where these explosions have actually occurred geographically?
Yeah, so one of them, from where you are, you can see that one of them is emanating from the north of the city, and you can see that one of them is emanating from the southwest of the city.
Maybe it's a distraction, either from someone that knows what we're about to do and wants to keep people looking somewhere else, or to try and distract us from doing what we want to do.
Well, the southwest is Green Street territory, right?
Yeah, I was thinking
So-
maybe it's
It's
retribution.
gang territory. It's gang territory. It's not just Green Street territory. I thought it was general gang territory. I got that wrong, Jay.
The southwest is considered to be Green Street turf.
Okay. And the north?
Is
It's
where
just
you will
general
find.
city, right?
Yeah, it's where you'll find the police station, starport, entrance gates to the city, and the big ultra wide sort of motorway that leads into the city centre. It's where you came in when you first reached the city.
If we're traveling to the Tanantandas, and specifically, I've forgotten the name of Garza Clan's settlement, will we have to head through the north? of the city?
Perbatasan?
So while you were on your way to the Kota Carlton, the somewhat ritzy hotel that the Rouge Saloon staff hooked you up with sweets at. So you were, at the end of the last episode, headed there to plan your attack on the Garza compound. That hotel can be found in the northwest of the city.
Why don't we check out the explosion in the north on our way to the hotel?
I think we should. There's so many important things around it. Be stupid to ignore.
Because we're going to have to plan for our assault anyway. Base. So,
You wouldn't be far out of your way from where you are right now to go via the northern smoke column, if you so wished.
Oh,
Whereas if we get-
let's check that one out then. Southwest, that's Green Street, whatever. We don't really want to go back there. Right?
No,
we-
especially
yeah.
not when there's been a big explosion.
Okay.
Another,
Drive, Alan! Or Gary.
Certainly. Where is your destination?
That explosion in the north. We want to go there.
Oh. Okay. Whee!
And off he heads. Not the driver that Gary was. Doesn't have the same urgency and frantic energy that Gary had, but he gets you there in relatively short order. And as you start to approach, traffic is backed up pretty badly on the main freeway from the starport into the city centre. Whatever this explosion was, it appears to have affected traffic flow through down the main concourse that leads from the police station and the starport down into the city centre. So yeah, you are getting into some pretty sludgy traffic as you're probably about sort of quarter to half a mile away from the smoke column.
I'm terribly sorry. Traffic conditions seem to be rather poor.
What do you reckon, guys? Pull over and we'll hoof it.
Yeah, let's just do it on foot.
Mm.
Okay,
I'm
Alan.
able to find someone that can tell us something about what's going on.
Thank you for riding with Alan Core today.
Oh, before we leave, Alan,
Yes?
can you double check something for me?
Certainly.
How many Allans have disconnected from the Allan network recently?
Disconnected, I'm not sure. I would have to...
He pauses for a second as he accesses the main Allen net.
Now that you mention it, the Allen network seems to be slightly denuded from where I would expect it to be normally, with the usual cycle of Allens coming on and offline as part of their maintenance cycles. However, AllenNet service still remains 100% coverage of the city.
Okay. When you say slightly denuded, how many units would you estimate should be on duty that aren't at this time?
Calculating. I estimate that we are approximately 50 Allens short of our usual coverage level.
50.
Approximately.
Number of
Of course,
Allens.
the maintenance cycle is not completely consistent, but certainly at this time of day, with this many Allens on the road, I would normally expect to see perhaps 50 more on the net. However, be assured that any rides or lifts you may require won't be a problem for the Allen net.
Okay, thank you, Alan. Maybe you should go and find some other taxis and get close to them and ask them what's going on.
I'm afraid that's not in my programming. I'm due to collect somebody from the entertainment district now. I'm off there.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Alan.
Hi,
Happy
Alan.
trails, Alan.
And he zips off towards the entertainment district to pick up his
Oh,
next
boy.
fare. As you guys disembark,
Blaz, you're either brilliant or really, really stupid.
As you guys disembark from the Allen, you start making your way down a pretty gridlocked main freeway to the north of the city. And as you get within several hundred yards, there's a fair amount of chaos. There's a lot of people on foot. There's a lot of kind of digital honking going on. People getting frustrated on the roads. It's pretty gridlocked. And you are nearing the smoke column. Everybody give me a perception roll. Thank you for those gift subs, by the way, DD. Appreciate you, bud.
Nat 1.
Oh no! Oh man.
I got a 4, so no
1, 4, doing well so far. Everybody else?
21.
21,
15.
15.
15 as well.
Okay. So,
Nice.
Can I like instead of using my eyes, just close them and use my nose instead, and do another perception?
no, that 15 was kind of Clara is the first person to get a good glimpse of what's going on. She picks her way through the crowds. Keen senses and detective instincts quickly start to get a bit quicker than anybody else, get a bit of a read as to what's going on. There appears to have been a fairly major road traffic accident, and very rare with the technology that is available to the denizens of Mariana 6. Not something that they're used to dealing with. Collision avoidance and safety protocols built into pretty much all of the consumer vehicles here on the planet make this a pretty rare thing. But there appears to have been a pretty serious road traffic accident, and an explosion has ensued.
Is it one of the Garys or Allens that's involved in this accident?
As you near the scene of the accident, there is a perimeter up. Local security forces are keeping people away. The problem is that, of course, the commercial vehicles and residential vehicles around here run on essentially very, very compact fusion reactors. So there is the possibility of a chain reaction with the crashed vehicles. So they are keeping people at bay. However, with that 21, you see the burnt out shells of multiple vehicles, a pretty large crater in the freeway, and it appears that there is an Allen chassis at the epicenter.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
goodness.
Oh man.
All right, let's get the fuck out of here, guys.
Definitely not genius. Yeah.
Yeah, let's just leave. Let's just leave. Let's get away as quick as possible.
There's quite a crowd gathered at this perimeter, looking on, being politely held back by security forces.
Jay, are the explosions of a similar size?
With your military knowledge, you know you're now close enough to kind of see what's going on, and you can see that the vehicles the other vehicles that have been blown up, there was something of a chain reaction, but really the epicenter came from the Allen, the primary explosion was at the epicenter. Everything else was secondary. They are pretty well shielded, these reactors. It takes quite a lot to get them to go pop. So thankfully, it doesn't appear to have spread too far.
See, guys, I told you it was nothing to worry about. We're fine. We just.
There's no one concerned as to what. I mean, hopefully this was just an accident. The Gary we took did drive quite fast.
Yeah, maybe once
fact
all
that
this
there
is
was-
over, Blaz.
The fact that there was two
Connecting them.
so quickly is concerning, but
I am immediately rethinking this plan, and I would like to contact Gary and try and summon him and all of his new friends to take a little road trip with us out of the city.
You punch in the PCU ident that Gary supplied you with, the direct line. But as in last week's episode, you can't get through. Gary's not picking up.
Gary's abandoned us.
like
No.
not picking up as in he's not answering or it's going straight to voicemail. Like is he letting it ring
Ghosting
or
us.
is the phone dead?
Sadly,
Like-
sadly, PCUs don't work like that. But ultimately, the call is not connecting for whatever reason.
I could try the back door, but I was hoping not to have to use that. I'm not even sure if it will work.
Do you want to try the backdoor access?
What do we reckon, guys?
You probably can't do any more damage right
It's
now.
an
Yeah.
untested hack on an unknown number of devices.
I mean, they
Jake,
might all blow up at the same time.
Jay,
Who
can we
knows?
identify the chassis that's exploded?
I was just
it's
gonna
a, it's a
just waiting
burnt
to
out
ask
shell.
that.
It's a burnt out shell. You
They
haven't,
don't have
and they all.
license
And
plates or anything.
I don't want to be, like a taxi racist, but they all look the same.
They all look like
They are
new,
mass produced.
They were built in Alan's image.
What are you saying then, James?
Try
Are you
the hack.
you
Try
trying
the
that?
hack, James.
Oh, fuck it, I'm trying the hack.
Okay.
Smash those back doors in.
Do I need to give you a check or anything?
No. You access your backdoor protocol to the I suppose the Gary friendship net, and you are faced with some very unusual network activity. It is, to put it in layman's terms, it appears to be scrambling and reshaping and distorting in real time. Certainly, whatever kind of you're used to computers that you can jump in on there's a clear directory structure and there is a clear command structure, and you can punch in whatever directives you want. You can assess the layout of the system. You're immensely talented at this, but you've never seen anything like this. The entire thing seems to be breaking and reforming in real time, and there's no rhyme or reason or sense to it all. It's like a layman looking at the Matrix. It's like, what the fuck is this? Like the shape of the code is disintegrating and crystallizing and reforming in real time. Certainly nothing resembling a conventional command appears to work, because the code doesn't even resemble standard code.
You've created Skynet, James. Well done.
I just kind of stare incomprehendingly at the flood of symbols amassed on the PCU, and I just say, Gary? Gary?
Omaganda like peers over and goes, "Have you tried turning them all off and turning them all back on?"
I don't understand anything. I don't know what I've done. I don't know if this was me.
It must
I'm
be a
kind of
fail-safe,
scared.
though, right? I mean, only an idiot would do something like that and not have a fail-safe in place.
I'd like to see you do better.
Look,
I think when we're unshackling AIs, only an idiot would do it in the first place. No
That is a
offense,
good
Mass.
Omaganda pats James on the shoulder and looks at him. Hey, maybe an idiot, but he's our idiot.
That's true. That's true.
true.
I mean, this could mean anything. This could just be random corruption. We don't know.
That is a good point. We are.
Well,
The problem with AI.
let's figure it out while we walk into the hotel, because we do need to get out of here. If this comes back
Yes,
to
we do.
Baz,
Yeah.
we're all fucked.
We've got shit.
Yeah,
We've got other shit. And Clara's whispering this as well. We've got other shit to blow up before we get caught.
So you're
Adding things to our
Can I use all 4 of my spell slots to shrink these guys down, put them in my pockets, and just fly off?
You are not shrinking me. No way.
Yes,
No.
absolutely.
Being
I will
shrunk.
not be shrunken against my will.
I mean, it would be fun. I will allow it for like it's rule of cool applying here. I am up for it. But no non-consensual shrinking.
If it's non-consensual, I won't do it. I mean,
Okay, no. I consent to you shrinking me. It's fine.
I consent.
Everyone on Twitch, you need
fluffy
to
wolf.
you need to imagine like this sort of mashed with the never-ending story.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden, yeah. Just
The never-ending bullshittery.
So you're using all of your spell slots to become
actually,
the
I
Drift
have
Awakens
5 spell
Falcor.
slots, so but yeah, I can use 4 of them to do this and just shrink these guys down.
Okay, I want to see this in RP. I really do. I have to.
Okay, guys, look, there's a big crowd here. There's a lot of shit in our way. I feel like I'm just gonna shrink you all down, all right, and we can fly out of here, easy peasy. We can get there to the hotel, okay?
Ormangand
Oh, why not?
he just starts climbing on top of Face's back.
I mean, I am
hesitation.
basically now. I'm just gonna touch because I have to touch you guys to do it. So I'm just gonna like touch you on the forehead each and just boom, and you just shrink down. You're now all like, I don't know, 3 to 4 foot versions of yourselves. You're basically child versions of yourselves.
Clara's just gonna climb up your back and just sit behind Ormanganda like a small child. Like,
Yeah, so I am now
As
a 10-foot dragon with a Vesk, a wolf, a
Blacker.
Lashunta, a Blacker, and a human.
Human.
You
Just
forget the word for human.
yeah.
Okay.
Hell
as you,
yeah.
as you shrink Blaz down, he's like, I'm not sure this is such a good idea.
I might.
Dragon Riders in both campaigns. The crossover continues.
Yeah, and I just sort of like jump up and fly out of there.
Awesome. Face takes
Whilst
to the
music to
skies
heavy metal plays in the background.
with a munchkinified party. Adorning,
We are the Dragon Riders of Mariana 6.
adorning his wings and scales. It's give me an I think it's going to be an athletics check. Oh no, you know what? Give me an acrobatics check, please. I want to see
Okay.
how well this goes.
26.
Hey.
Oh yeah, you
Nice.
smooth. You smooth. The wind is not too bad, and yeah, you make relatively good time. And as you survey the streets below, you see that the traffic generally is uncharacteristically sluggish. But
Doesn't look good down there.
it doesn't take you a huge amount of time to arrive at the Kota Carlton. You weren't too far away. And yeah, you glide into the valet parking turnaround area in front of the hotel, and yeah, you make good time, and it would appear a better time than you would have made in an Allen.
I land on all fours, but I land like a fucking Star Wars spaceship. I just sort of do a little bounce, and then I settle.
Love it.
How long are we going to be like this?
What, Irish?
I was going to say, after shrinking, you make you Irish.
Have you not read the full rules of the Enlarge Reduce spell? It's yeah, it makes you Celtic for the duration.
Yeah, no, well, no, I'm going to why have you turned into a fucking leprechaun?
How is your voice still like that?
I also immediately fall asleep.
What?
Yeah. As soon as you all get off me, I immediately fall asleep.
He's not used to flying that far without landing. That's the first time he's done a journey of that length, staying in the air, in fairness. It's a new skill.
And you do all return to your original.
Because you lose
size.
concentration, of course.
Thank God for that.
So you're like,
Tom Duck.
and everybody's like, whoop.
Don't aggravate the little folk.
That was weird.
Ormagander reaches over to Blaz and starts frisking him to see if he can find a pot of gold.
We've got a lot to cover, guys. What are you doing?
Sorry.
Get off me, fucking lizard.
How long do we have to let the captain sleep for?
Well, he's used all of his spell slots to shrink us, so probably a long rest.
Should we try and carry him to his room?
You can try and carry that fat bastard.
A bellhop descends down the stairs and goes, would you like me to park your dragon?
Do you have maybe some kind of floating device so we can take him to his room? I think he's a bit tuckered out.
Oh, I do apologise. He's a guest. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realise. Yes. And he whistles over and he brings out a very large luggage trolley and channels it down. And so, please allow us. And a small fleet of valets and bellhops just kind of like haul face onto a one of those luggage carts you get at nice hotels.
Careful of his wings.
Oh, of course. Sorry, yes, I didn't fold the wings in to stop them getting caught in the rotating doors. And yeah, in they go, and they get you all up to your rooms. Go on, Jess.
As Blaz is stood watching this, he kind of, and leans over to she and was like, "They could have probably done that with that spell that I have. but watching these guys work is just amazing. How much do you think it's costing us to stay here?
How much is it costing?
Albus?
For us to stay here.
Yeah.
Deep
At this
breath.
point, who cares? I think
Yeah.
I'm going to order some expensive room service.
Yeah.
We are gonna have
Right,
spent
I'm gonna eat all the M&Ms.
all the pay from up before
Go
we even get off
minibar.
this planet.
We could always dine and dash.
So, you guys make your way. You are escorted up to your rooms with an unconscious face and very large, thankfully, glass elevators leading up the internals of this flash hotel. You're all taken to your suites. The four valets sort of drag face into his suite and lay him gently down on his bed. His wings go off the edge of the big double, and he'll start to. They're sweating right in the Marianas heat. Comes to the door, and the one who originally asked whether you wanted him to park face is like
Ormagander gives him 50 credits because that was impressive.
Beat me to it.
thank you, sir. It's very, very appreciated. Thank you. I'm so glad you didn't have to do that. So yeah, he slips that 50 cred stick into his pocket, and they disappear back into the ether. They vanish from whence they came. Yeah.
So, long rest?
So, yeah, so you met up in the... Let me just think about the timeline of this so far. So you met up in the you had the date in the afternoon. It is kind of like, it's early, but you could potentially get a night's kip.
Maybe we should do some planning. And then we can plan for a couple of hours and then have a rest.
Captain's asleep.
Yeah, but we
I
know
think
the
that's-
vague plan, having something a bit more ironed out for him to wake up to so that we don't seem like a bunch of useless children, I'm sure would be helpful.
Well, okay, if we're going to stay in his room and do some planning, that's fine. Blaz takes the pen out from his top pocket and takes the lid off.
Ormagander takes the M&Ms out of the minibar.
Yeah, Clara's gonna just grab whatever looks the most expensive snack-wise. Does not care what it is.
So
Just
everybody's
whatever's
hitting
most
Face's
expensive.
minibar.
I'm going to revert
Yeah,
to
but
Yeah.
I'm
they're charging
advancing.
us
rare
for my room,
planes
yeah.
out of my
Yeah.
hate
I'm
car
advancing.
policy.
I'm advancing on Face with a pen.
The salted cashew nuts. Yeah. Ormagander takes the salted cashew nuts, walks over to where Blaz is with his pen, pulls the pen out of his hand.
I was,
Oh, yeah, no,
The salted
hang
cashew nuts
on.
into his mouth.
Actually, I would
Great planning, everyone.
Actually, I would like to do something. I would like Blaz. Please, can you roll me a stealth check? Face, can you please roll me a perception check? And we're going to do opposed stealth v perception.
hell yeah.
So
You know he's
22 for
asleep.
stealth.
22 for stealth.
15.
I mean, have at it, Blaz.
Oh god.
But let's keep it brief
We're
because we've
too
got a lot
dis-
to cover.
We're too distracted by our snacking, Sam.
Blaz draws an anatomically correct penis on Face's muzzle,
Of course,
going from the tip of his nose up to between his dragony eyes.
of course.
Can
What was
I
that was not looking like children.
can I do
Ooh.
some sort of saving throw?
You can give me a saving throw. I think that's fair. You know, it's like saving throws are always half damage, right? So it feels like it would be like only half. It would either be the cock or the balls if you win the
Well,
if you win this saving throw.
Like a wriggle save to see if he moves.
Yeah,
no,
just
I
destroy
want
the
the
outline of
saving
He
it.
just has a crooked penis on his face, right?
I want the saving throw to be for if it makes me sneeze and I just burn some of his hair off. while he's doing it.
Well, you know what? What I'll do? Give me a fortitude saving throw.
Okay, well I rolled a 17.
A 17. Okay, I am going to say that saving throw does pass. You do wriggle enough to is basically no longer a discernible cock and balls. But I'm afraid I can't allow you to inflict damage on Blaz. So you
Just
basically
a little singe.
what you've ended up with is scribbles. You've ended up with scribbles, but at least it's not indecent.
While that's been going on,
What
Clara's
ridiculous!
been
This is the season finale.
Bloody hell.
Clara's taken out her notebook from her
Ruined my
from
masterpiece.
her duster coat, and she's drawn out like the floor plan.
Mm-hmm.
And
opened
she's
that then?
basically got like just like, okay, where are we going to put the bombs that's going to do the most amount of damage?
Okay, I'm going to say that the Sharpie antics and the Fortitude save have essentially roused Face from his short rest. So
Okay, cool.
Face comes to the fumes of permanent marker, and Clara is more than welcome to open up the intel on the Garza clan lair.
Oh, you're awake again. I just got done drawing the floor plan. Do you feel better?
Yeah, feel great.
Okay.
Feel so good.
Do we just want to figure out where to put the bombs?
Okay,
What
let's
have we
have a look at this.
Yeah.
Let's take a look.
Yeah, I thought we
got
only got a floor
Ashino's-
plan.
We
So-
got Ashino's data packet or whatever was in it.
So let me give you the gist of what you've got in front of you. I would have liked this to have been a more visual aid. I apologise. It's all gone horribly wrong for me. So, the Garza clan lair is, think of it like a Medellin-esque villa, a very large, luxurious villa compound. Surrounding the compound is a large perimeter fence, very much a fence rather than a wall. That encloses the entire estate. The fence is patrolled. Bear in mind, this is only the information that the Rouge Saloon staff have managed to accrue during their various, should we say, social visits there, diplomatic visits there. So this is not a complete nuts and bolts layout of everything that is there. It's just what they've managed to ascertain on their visits. So while it is not, you can't be taking it as a 100% like a floor plan intel,
I
but
could
it's the
have
best they can do.
Draw out the sections on paper so we can get. Like,
You can get a pretty damn good gist. However, there are kind of effectively grey areas in this layout because there are areas they've never been invited to. So you have a large perimeter fence enclosing the compound, with, as far as the Rouge Saloon cats can discern, potentially some electronic sensors, triggers, alarms, and patrols. That extends out quite a way from the compound, like the estate itself, or the compound itself. There is a large set of heavily defended gates at the south side of the compound, which takes you into the central enclave where the villa can be found. There is a rocky, pebbly track that leads from the main road up to the perimeter fence with patrols, and then up to the enclave's inner walls. The entire villa is surrounded by 30-foot high walls, fairly serious bits of engineering, chunky concrete, dressed up to look pretty, but very defensive in nature. That wall has a walkway running all the way around the perimeter, which is consistently patrolled by half-orc and goblin lookouts. There are 2 guard towers on the south side of this wall that span the gate, the main gate. And as you head through the gates, north, there is a gravel track lined with trees as you enter the grounds of the Garza Villa. as you reach the end of this track, perhaps 100, 150 feet long, you reach a fountain and an oval turning space where vehicles can deposit guests at the main entrance to the villa itself. The villa is well appointed. It has 2 wings. Think of it like an M shape. So you have the central section, which is largely entertaining space and the primary meeting rooms for the Garza. And then you have 2 wings extending down that surround 2 long reflecting pools. So you have an M shape, the two wings with pools in the center, overlooked by balconies. There are also balconies on the outside of the building on the second floor. To the rear of that building, there are more gardens extending to the edge of the wall that loops all the way around the villa. So enclosed gardens, M-shaped villa in the middle.
Do we have
Yes.
any of the sort of like surrounding area topology? I want to know if there's any sort of, if it's in a valley or if it's just on completely flat land or if it's raised up.
Doing that.
Okay. It's not on a hill or a mountain, but there is certainly anywhere near that is elevated above the villa. So there is no topology to get a look in and down on the villa. Certainly when you factor in the wall, it's relatively flat out there. It's prairie-like, the landscape. It is on the edge of the Tarantandas, so there are patches of vegetation. It's not completely desertified, and it is nestled at the edges of a jungle. The jungle extending to the north. So the rear of the estate is pretty boxed in by jungle. And in fact, as we head north, to the rear of the estate is effectively a small starport. A landing bay, at least, a landing area. So that is where the Garza clan's smaller ships refuel, land. Think of it like a private helipad that is fenced in with chain link fence on all sides. That landing area is protected by anti-aircraft weaponry, and the walls are studded with the occasional anti-personnel turrets manned by the half-orcs and goblins that patrol the walls. It is something of a fortress. The villa itself is covered by anti-aircraft weaponry. The perimeter wall is certainly to the north and south covered by anti-personnel machine gun type emplacements. There is a landing zone to the north, out the back of effectively the back of the villa, with a fairly heavy gate linking the rear gardens, the northern gardens of the villa, and the landing zone. The last time any of the Rouge Saloon staff attended an event at the Garza villa, there was quite a lot of construction taking place to the north side of the estate. However, there was not really any clear indication as to what they were constructing. But there was a fair amount of construction traffic accessing that part of the estate via a dirt track that meets the freeway, say half a mile down from the track that leads you to the main gates. Threads its way through the jungle somewhat. And Yes, James.
Carry on if you're still describing.
Inside, like I say, predominantly the wings of the building are reserved for functional rooms, guest rooms, bathrooms, kitchens, lounges, very much kind of entertaining or utilitarian spaces. The central section of the building is the primary meeting room and kind of, I suppose, for want of a better word, throne room of the villa. It's spread across 2 floors. The downstairs floor is only really accessible via the front doors and the rear doors that lead to the rear gardens. The second floor has balconies on the outside of the building and on the inside of the building looking down on the pools. I will just try and give you a bit of an indicator. Just bear with me a moment, because I should be able to at least dig out like a somewhat patchy view of the estate itself, just to give you an idea. So bear with me 2 seconds, and I will throw this up on chat so you can have a gander. Okay, let's zoom this in a little bit. Okay, so 2 seconds, and I'll pull this up on OBS as well for the folks at home. Any questions while I'm just bringing this up?
How close is the jungle, Jay, to the back of the complex?
The jungle pretty much encroaches right the way up to the rear kind of
I feel like they
utility
wouldn't
area.
leave that area unguarded. I feel like they would definitely have people in the jungle, because it's obviously it's too much of an obvious weakness.
Especially if they're building something towards the back.
Maybe that's what they want us to think.
I mean, it sounds like East and West have the least guns.
You know what? That's actually relatively fair as far as the intel from the Rouge Saloon crew go. It seems to be largely focused on points of entry or potential points of entry. So let me just bring this up for you so you can kind of see. Okay, there you go, folks. Let me see if I can I scroll this down any further, or is that you lot? Okay, bear with me. Sorry, I might have to just slightly tweak this a little bit. Shloop. Okay, so as you can see, folks, you've got these main entrance gates down to the south. A rocky track leading you up north through the estate, lined by trees and gardens. Obviously, this map is somewhat incomplete, so you don't have an exact layout of every piece of furniture inside the house. That's just thematic. That's obviously what you would get from these guys. But hang on, jump out of studio mode. Okay, as we scroll up, you can see that you've got the main shape of the house. So you have some pools in the east and west wings, a statue here in the turning area leading into the main entrance to the house, which is in the middle. Look, it's even got like all this nice warm festoon lighting leading up the track. That's the sort of detail that'd be really great if this was a finished map, wouldn't it? Anyway, there are rear doors leading out into the gardens. I'll zoom out in a second so you can see the perimeter wall as well. There is a security station with another anti-personnel turret. In fact, let's just zoom in a little bit so you can kind of see. So as you can see, you've got turret and security post to the rear, and over here is where you'll find the landing area. which is surrounded by fences. There are some solar charging units, some loading units, cargo storage, and the like. And as we go back down to the bottom of the map, you'll see that there's this perimeter wall that runs, and I may need to tweak this again, that runs all the way around the entire villa itself. In fact, let me just grab that and shrink it down a bit so you can kind of see what's cracking here. Oops. Sloop. Okay. Yeah, so that runs... Oh, you still can't see. Why can't you see that? God damn it. Yeah, but that runs essentially all the way around, and that walkway is patrolled at pretty much all times by small bands of lookouts. Do you have any questions about the intel you've received so far? Anyway, you want to look in at?
Jay, do you have any indication of the general manpower, number of people who are usually in and around this?
Very hard to tell. The Rouge Saloon crew have never managed to sort of ascertain an exact number, and it obviously fluctuates depending on their activities elsewhere on Marianus. Certainly there are, at any given time, at least 2 to 3 small security bands patrolling the walls. So always enough to man the 3 turrets they're aware of. To the anti-aircraft positions, they've never managed to get straight eyeball on. They've been too well defended, and they've been coming at it from a social, diplomatic sort of sense. So they've been going to the villa. They've never been invited out back. They know that that's where the anti-aircraft weaponry is situated, but they haven't got an exact tactical layout of that area. And there was so much construction going on that, for all they know, that information could have been out of date anyway.
How long has it been since they visited?
It doesn't say. I mean, it's relatively, it's
Been a while.
It's been a bit, yeah.
Been a while.
It's like they used to go out there more. In the last few years, it's kind of tailed off. So this is all built up over incremental visits. It's not like they went on one trip, had a drinks reception, and mapped the place out. This is more like an accumulated knowledge of what goes on out there.
Is there any kind of additional info within the pack about, their comings and goings as a group? That might indicate when certain people are there, or whether they have whether they host events, things like that.
One of the reasons they haven't been there so much recently is events have tailed off. Over the last few years, they've been holding less and less events. It's become more and more of a closed site. Hence their kind of caveat about this information that might not be entirely solid, because we haven't been invited out there for a while. The social schedule up there appears to be tailing off. As far as manpower and disposition goes, the security appears to increase somewhat when one of the Garza brothers is home, but they're home most of the time. They rarely seem to leave the compound. Certainly, again, that's been tailing off as well. They've become more insular over the recent years.
Right, is
Well-
it safe to assume that their drug refining production is happening on site, the construction being, the means to do it? Would
That could-
explain why they're so isolated.
Yeah, that would make sense. Does it? Okay. So it looks like, it seems from the info we have, the east and the west walls are the least defended. So that would be our in, really. The best thing to do, I guess, would be to come out of the jungle to the north, but not directly behind the compound. 'cause
Swing
wanna be
around
able
to the side.
Yeah, we want to swing around to like the east probably.
Mm.
I don't know. Maybe, maybe what? Because we're going to need to take out some of the guards first. There's definitely going to be some sort of alarm system, and we don't want
Yeah,
them tripping it
that.
before we get close enough.
I think if there's that many guards kind of all there in different places, I mean, I'm not sure how big it is overall, but surely they'd see if there was, shooting and fighting and things going on.
Yeah,
I
well,
imagine
this
we
is
probably wouldn't get much time to.
I mean,
This is the
the
thing.
inner compound is roughly.
it's pretty big.
I mean, it's roughly 400 feet across, and like 600 feet deep. I mean, it's pretty big.
I think maybe what we do is we plant an explosive on one of the walls and then leave to a different wall, set the explosive off as a distraction.
It's a good idea.
It just depends on whether that will, because it will alert them, but it will also distract them. That's one way to do it, or we could try and sneak in.
Oh, the other
If
bit of info that it's just because it's relevant at this point is that the as far as the Rouge Saloon staff know, the kind of security feeds seem to be running back to this cluster of buildings to the north on the wall. So there are guard towers at the gates, but it appears that the security forces for the compound, their base / nerve center is this turreted building to the north overlooking the landing pads. Certainly that seems to be like, I suppose, their kind of barracks and control point where they can overlook the villa and the landing pads themselves.
It might be worth. It would be dangerous, but trying to plant a charge on there first. Maybe, I don't know, if we could possibly get on top of the wall without being seen.
Rig the barracks to blow first.
Yeah. Or what we could do, I could put all of the charges in a bag, and we could get them. We could arm them, and then I'll throw the bag and just blow all of them up as the bag hits the thing.
That would be quicker.
Big boom, big distraction.
Could we sneak through the jungle and then you just drop the bag like a bomb?
I mean, yeah, that is a possibility. We could do that.
Yeah.
Because it's so the range is 500 feet.
Yeah, we can.
For the detonation.
I mean, I will probably want to throw this instead of just dropping it from directly above, to keep myself a bit hidden.
Or if we just send she in through the jungle to plant charges on it.
With a load of active bombs.
Well,
No, you can.
I'll do it if you don't want to do it.
You can activate them as you plant them if we're going that route. But if we do want to
plant them.
if we do want to just chuck the bombs, then we'll have to activate them all first, obviously.
How would you throw bombs over a 30-foot wall?
Well, can
Oh,
fly.
yeah.
You could
I can
try
also
and throw
I can
the
also
front
throw
door.
them pretty far.
I mean, all this assumes that we're going to kind of try and engage them in a straight fight, and there are 5 of us, and a
Well,
lot
this is
of
one.
them
This is only one sort of route that we can go. We could go a sneaky route, but you and I feel like Blaz are the sneakiest people in the group.
I'm remembering the Hunter's Camp painting incident, and kind of scared by that.
I have a new trick up my sleeve.
I mean,
Go
in
on.
fairness, the hunter's camp was pretty unlucky. To be fair, that was a very unfortunate
hilarious.
roll. Yeah, it was funny. Yeah.
I've discovered a way to manipulate the electromagnetic field of my body to temporarily turn myself invisible.
Cool.
Nice, very useful for this exact situation.
That
That's
sounds excellent.
perfect.
How does that interact with the creatures stuck in your brain that you wouldn't let me pull out with my fingers?
Yeah, will they
For
be
a
an issue?
straw.
Well, as there is nothing to hit and no damage to make, I'm not sure there'll be an issue.
Give me the reading of that spell. I think you'll probably get away with it, but I just want to see how it's worded, thematically speaking.
The creature or object touched becomes invisible. See page 264. I don't have page 264.
So it literally just turns
If-
them invisible.
If the target is a creature, any gear it's carrying vanishes as well. You can cast this spell on someone else. If you cast this spell on someone else, neither you nor your allies can see the target unless you can normally see invisible things, or you employ magic to do so.
Okay.
The spell ends if the target is attacked or attacks any creature. For the purposes of this spell, an attack includes any spell or harmful effect targeting a foe or whose area of effect includes a foe.
So there's no mention of electrical charge within that spell description. There's no
Yeah.
electrical element to that spell. So as far as I'm
There is
concerned, that is a mystical ability that would not trigger the Leeites. So
Planting bombs make it stop.
No.
No.
Actions can be taken. So
Only
As
attacks.
long as it's not attacks.
causing harm indirectly is not an attack. Thus, an invisible being can open doors, talk, eat, climb stairs, summon security forces, and have them attack. Start a trash compactor with foes inside, remotely trigger traps, and so forth.
Push a
As
boulder
it-
off something high.
yeah, that is a detailed
So-
spell description right there.
So, I suggest that we Frodo Baggins she with Blaz's spell. She sneaks in, plants the bombs, then we detonate the bombs, knocking out as much as we can, and then we just attack in the confusion.
I have ghost mode, so I say Blaz and I go in together. Use that spell on yourself.
That would make it quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
am
like that.
willing.
And you guys both have reasonable engineering.
I think so.
Yes.
Right?
One is
Yeah, 'cause-
all right, the other is not good.
These
no,
charges
they're both okay.
require a decent engineering skill.
How decent?
I mean, like probably you're probably all right.
Great.
I've got plus 12 to engineering.
I mean, they're only Mark
11.
ones, so
Okay.
they don't take a lot of engineering, just a bit.
so
Enough.
there's
Just enough.
this private airfield with the ground-to-air stuff.
Yeah.
We should probably
Avoid that?
we should probably arrange for those defenses to prevent anything from taking off. If we start blowing stuff up, then our target is going to bug out, right?
Well,
Possibly.
yeah.
Well, yeah, but surely we'll plant all the bombs first and blow them all up at once.
If you were kind of a big drug dealing operation and you just invested a load of money in the equipment to make a load of drugs and sell them and ship them off planet, you probably care about the construction site. You could always blow something around where we think that is, or use it as a sort of negotiation point.
I mean, if
Kind of
if
link-
Blaz is invisible, I mean, really, he could walk straight up to the house and plant some bombs on the house.
you could just walk straight up to the
Mhm.
house and shoot. Oh no, then you'd be visible. Bad plan.
You could sneak into the house and plant bombs in their rooms.
Yeah.
Theoretically.
Or at load-bearing points of the building.
Yeah. You guys go into the house and you rig the whole house to blow, and then we blow the house. And then
Or we could stack all of the charges on my hover disk, and I can turn it invisible and they can order it to go to the house.
But if it just
And then,
but if it just explodes into the house, that's not going to do it. We need it to actually explode where they are, right?
Yeah,
It would have to
probably.
be in
Yeah.
yeah.
What we'll do is
Otherwise,
we'll,
that would be perfect.
You guys
we'll-
got 20 charges, right? Like
we'll
that's,
mount a
that's
webcam.
enough.
let's mount a webcam to your hover disk.
How do we get proof that that's the only thing? Like, do we need to get proof as well that they've been splattered? Right?
I mean, if we've
Okay.
blown up the building, we can just take a picture of the building, right? We'll just take a photo and be like, look, he's definitely dead. There's no way he's coming back from this.
I mean,
I
for
mean,
completeness'
he
sake, we should
also-
definitely bring his hands.
He also
Yes.
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 You
he
need
also
to do
did
that.
just say he wanted to ruin them, not just kill them, ruin them.
That's
Yeah,
why
I
I was
mean,
thinking if we
I
blow up
If we
the
blow up
rogue
the villa
operation-
and like some in the villa, some in the construction part, and
the
just
means of
fucking
production.
level the place.
Yep.
That's ruining them, even if we
Yeah.
don't kill them.
See, guys, the explosives were a good idea.
Explosive. I never doubted you.
So we
Um,
plant some around the construction site, some around the security center.
Yeah, and then
Um,
a few in the house just to fuck them, you know.
Okay.
If we
So in
can,
like
I
the
mean,
center.
yeah.
So each of
Yeah.
you take 10, right? And plant them in key points in the building and on the landing pad security area. Detonate, and then we move into combat under essentially the barrage of explosions.
This
I think,
requires
yeah.
a lot of stealth rows going well.
But you can go, but can't you both turn invisible?
Kinda, yeah. Not like Blaz can. Similar.
Yeah, people just don't notice that she's there.
I mean, to be fair, how is this any
Story
different
of my
from
life.
you are normally? Like,
I noticed you, Ellie.
Fuck.
What does it do?
Can
Well,
we
that's
have
a
some,
choking
can we have
field,
some Ellie love in
cloaking
chat,
field.
please? Can everybody notice
yeah.
Ellie and tell her we love her?
Oh
Yeah.
no, I wasn't.
Let's have some Ellie love in chat.
Notice me, senpais.
Definitely
I
no.
always notice you.
Oh. So cloaking field doesn't make you invisible. It does make it easier to sneak. 10 plus bonus to stealth checks.
what's your stealth bonus anyway? Isn't it at least plus 10?
So you'd be
It
getting like a plus
is.
23 or something to stealth.
It's 16, yeah.
Plus
so-
26.
So your bonus is plus 26. To
So unless
stealth.
I roll a nat one, I
So
should
let's
be
go
okay.
on that one. You should be okay.
Okay.
I mean,
Walking
that one.
through, hello,
on-
just with your bums
be
on
fair-
both arms.
to be
nobody
fair,
noticing you.
On skill checks, nat ones don't technically count as an automatic fail.
Yeah, I
Mm.
thought they did from where we usually do things.
But I feel like that's how we play it.
Yes, we do play it.
You
Like
kind of got it, right?
Funnier though.
Yeah, yeah.
You kind of got it. If you roll like absolute snake eyes, it's got to be like, oh, consequences. Like it just feels
Yeah.
right.
okay.
So guys, this is a good plan, right? So we've got a few on. If we can recce it and figure out their means of production for this stuff, destroy that.
So we come to
Destroy-
the jungle, yeah?
Yeah,
We
well, we're gonna have to use the jungle for cover, but I feel like they will have it pretty heavily guarded right outside where the base is.
Potentially.
I can hang back in the forest and spider climb one of the trees to keep a lookout.
Yeah, I mean, if we're
Yeah.
all up in trees, we can all climb a tree, right?
Hmm?
We can all climb a tree. I think we'll be okay.
Depends what kind of trees they are.
I mean, I can fly, so I'm
Well,
fine.
Yeah.
I'm good
Yeah,
at
but you're big. You're like twice the size of me.
True.
You're a bit red too.
Yeah.
I'm
We're in the
green.
dark.
um,
That's fine.
She kind of looks at Blaz and is like, "You don't care about dying, right?"
How do you know me so well?
We've established that he does. GM rules that Blaz has to care about dying. By the way, I have seriously considered removing to make the first character death No, you don't get to just roll
No.
over to like a cool idea you've had for a character. You get the Top Gear backup car character that I make. Because I want to keep the stakes all the way to
sorry.
the end of season 2. So just be aware, if you die, you might not get to roll over to your cool idea for a character you had. You might get the 3-wheeler that I've designed.
You at least get to flip for it.
Intentionally, like.
Well,
Oh,
that's not the
myself.
impression I've been getting in recent weeks.
I don't want to die.
I know you
don't
don't,
want to
Sam.
die either.
F's,
And I know you don't, Zoe.
F's in chat for
I
the
like my
epic
wolf
character
girl.
that could have been.
Not saying he can't. I'm not saying he can't appear, but I'm just saying if I feel like you've thrown in the towel, it's 3-wheeler time. I'm
I
just
have
saying
too
right
many
here, right now,
questions.
full
Think
disclosure.
But remember,
Have too many
guys.
Questions that need
that-
answering.
Remember, guys. I can, if you want, just shoot that 3-wheeler character into space.
Just
no
space him.
regrets. Yeah,
Just
I-
turns
He
up and
appears-
said, "What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Off the planet."
Yeah.
Old Duffer character we barely knew thee before Face spaced him, and then
Too many-
James got his cool Skittermander guy.
And there's too many unanswered questions about Clara to want her to die. Also, we haven't even got me a collar or a papoose yet. I'm not allowed to die.
It's true.
It's
It's true.
But guys, the plan.
Okay.
Big boom.
I'll do the
Forest
outside.
sneak and big boom.
You do the inside, Blaz.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I am only invisible for 5 minutes. I just want to point that out.
Oh, wait,
Okay, well,
is
that's-
a
Move
minute
quickly.
around? Is a minute around or?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, no,
Well,
no,
then-
no.
well, then you
Around,
do the-
around.
Around is 6 seconds.
Each turn is
Around.
6 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
Because the idea.
5
Sorry.
minutes, it's like 60 rounds.
So just to clarify for new like people who haven't played RPGs before,
50
either in the
rounds.
party or at home, like when we do a round of combat, it's presumed that everyone's basically acting at once, right? So like Ellie's throwing a punch, James is casting a spell, for instance, and it's all kind of happening. There's a slight heads up on like I'm slightly quicker because of my initiative roll, but effectively it's all happening simultaneously. And each round of combat is 6 seconds. So 10 rounds of combat is a minute of fighting. So 5 minutes in a combat setting, pretty long. Like 50
And then they last
rounds.
For 10 rounds.
So but yeah,
So
just
it makes sense for me to do the shorter distance.
So yours is 1 minute and Blaz's is 5.
rounds.
Sit down. Sit.
Okay. Well, let's give you guys your explosives. I'm gonna get the explosives out of the bag and just sort of. I hope the bellhops were careful because these could have just gone off.
I mean, they were after a good tip. So yeah, they were pretty careful.
There you go, 10 each. I'm keeping the grenades for myself. Sorry, guys.
And to be fair, Ormungandr has the detonation, so you're going to have to trust him because he's not great with computers and he's pretty clumsy.
Fuck's sake.
No, he's not. He's very, very well articulated.
But what I am gonna do is get as much sleep in as possible on the way there, and between now and when we arrive, because that flight really fucked me up, guys.
How we getting there?
Are we still planning to use the Garys?
We've got the ass, right?
The ass has been in long-term parking since like episode 13.
Yeah, the ass is
Yeah,
still
isn't-
here. Yeah.
Isn't that by the city, like outside the city gates?
And
Didn't
no,
we, like,
it's
park it
it's near the
outside?
city square.
Oh, okay.
By the way,
Yeah.
I wrote down in my episode notes about 8 episodes ago the hourly rate for parking the ass.
God.
This has turned into an expensive trip for y'all.
This better not be fucking London rates. I swear to God.
Oh,
I discussed the parking rate with you at the time you dropped it off, and then you all just walked away and never
Oh,
thought
come
about
on,
it for the
it's-
following
Remember
several days.
Don't you remember this?
Right,
I don't
we're
remember what I
abandoning
did
the ass here and
yesterday.
buying a new vehicle.
Do we have to deal with ULEZ as well? Is that
No,
like-
no. What we'll do is we'll take the ass in the middle of the night, so they can't charge us if they don't see us.
You're gonna bust it out the parking compound. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if you managed to
I will
fall,
shrink
like,
it down.
if you managed to lay the Garza clan to rest, but you're felled by the interstellar equivalent of NCP?
Why don't we just charge it to bloody Aldous? We're charging everything else to him anyway.
Because he's gonna be like, you guys, I fucking hate you guys. You're all
He's
fired.
rich, who cares?
Yeah, but who cares? We hate him too. And if we get fired, we've got shit we need to do. So,
Space
True.
pirates.
space pirates.
So, folks, this seems like an opportune time as any to take a quick break. Not least because I finished my bottle of wine. So,
Drink
no,
responsibly.
It wasn't full when I started.
Oh, okay. At least that's something.
If that helps, I didn't cork it
Only
on
a
the
little
stream.
bit full.
How full was it?
It was.
Full
It
enough.
had some in it. That's all I'm willing to disclose.
Full enough to party.
It had some in it. This much was out
I
there.
was doing so well. Anyway, folks, we'll be back in a few minutes. Go and buy some merch like this. This awesome Brew Anyone Jayven Fox mug. It's legit. And that has been through the dishwasher about 500 times. And look at that colour saturation. It's still there. Get your Sen one. We're back in a few to find out how well this plan pans out. And whether or not they even get to the plan this episode. Who knows? I don't. They don't. You don't. Just don't go anywhere. See you in a mo. Welcome back. Right. So, what, Ellie?
So smooth.
Thank you.
So smooth.
Oh god.
Welcome back, YouTube. You've missed nothing. I'm kidding. You should be here live on Twitch. It's where all the fun goes down. So, what's the plan then, gang? You've been plotting in your hotel room. I think you have something resembling a plan. Is it time to put this thing into action? By the way, YouTube,
No,
the
we
main
need
thing
a
you
long
missed is
rest.
that I'm slightly drunk.
Okay.
Yeah, you can all have a long rest if you'd like. I'm giving it away.
No killing us when drunk.
I'm so permissive at this point in the stream. So, do you want a long rest? Everyone have a long rest. You have a long rest. You have a long rest. You have a long rest. Everyone gets a long rest.
Uh-oh. He's
What
reached the
time
open
will that
phase.
take us to? I'm just wondering, what time will that take us to?
So, like, honestly, you had an evening's worth of plotting. You went out for that horrible double date. You got back to the hotel, early evening time. You've raided the minibar. You've plotted your heist / assassination attempt. You can have a long rest and be up by like a sensible time in the morn. No problems. You could be up.
Well,
You
in
could
fact,
you
you
could
called it
get the
an
hotel breakfast in and still probably make it to Perbatasan before sunrise.
Yeah, but,
Sunset. Sorry.
Yeah, we kind of want to be there after sunset.
Yeah, we want to go in at 4 a.m. when everyone is at their lowest ebb.
Speak for yourself, bitch.
Speak for yourself. Yeah.
Surely if you're
That's when
guarding,
I'm just
like, a
starting to get
criminal
fired up.
compound.
Okay, so yeah, right. Well, you can make it up for breakfast, and you can do what you will with the day.
I say, yeah, maybe what we do is we get some breakfast and then we go get the ass if we can, just break it out if need be, and then we try and set up camp in the jungle. We circumvent the whole thing and we go straight to the jungle.
If you are planning to
Wait,
get to
should we-
to Perbatasan via the ass is not like a cross-continental travel. It's like a short-range transport. It will take you some time.
Maybe if we ask Gary,
Gary.
if we mention the word Perbatasan, maybe he'll answer. He did say it was his favorite road to drive down.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
As whips open the PCU and tries to take a look into the madness, the snowstorm that is the back door into Gary.
As you do, it is still very much in flux. Still very confusing. Nothing seems to make sense in there. But you do manage to extract, using your considerable computer skills, a location on Gary. And he just so
The
happens to
original Gary.
be the original Gary. and he just so happens to be right at this moment at the entrance to the Perbatasan highway outside Kota Bebas.
Ooh.
However, you are not able to hail him. You can determine his location, but he is not responding to a hail. All you know is where he is right now, and that is outside Kota Bebas on the Perbatasan Road, motionless.
To the Gary.
Guys, I know where a Gary is. I don't think I can get in touch with him, but if we join him here, he might be able to help us get there.
Let's go track him down.
Breakfast first, though, right?
Yeah,
Obviously.
Food time.
Priorities.
Food time.
We need our energy.
Okay.
I
So,
assume there's some sort of like lizard on stick buffet here.
of course, it's a nice hotel. The only thing
The
is, though,
spices.
it's a little bit fancier than the lizards and sticks you've been partaking of so far. You've been eating street food, but this is like gourmet lizard on stick. So the sticks are like actual cutlery. You know, they're actual skewers. The hot sauce isn't as hot as you're used to, but there is a sizable amount of garnish, and it comes with sides.
Okay, I'm gonna swallow my whole plate of food in one go. Chew it up, obviously.
Sir, would you like a larger portion? I'm so sorry if we've come up short.
Nope, it's all good.
Certainly.
Ormanganda eats the same amount of face and then goes, yeah, larger portion.
Give me a what's it called? Give me a saving throw. Give me a fortitude saving throw. In fact, no, just give me a constitution roll. Give me a straight constitution roll, please, Ormaganda.
Oh, sorry, that's 15.
15 on the constitution roll. You are fine, but so full, dude.
Yeah, I didn't want to get bloated.
You were like
condition,
you're like you've eaten
Yeah.
the same amount of face, and you're like, I know lizards on sticks, but you are sluggish right now.
Right, so while the rest of the guys are eating, Ormanganda,
Is there a pasta dish?
Ormanganda falls asleep.
Because if there's like some sort of pasta, Clara's gonna get like a little bit of that, and then like maybe like a couple of little cakes or something. So she's got the carbs and the sugar for the
Nice.
energy boost,
Nice. Okay. Good
and then
feed.
some like little side salad because
Sure.
she's.
Baz
doesn't
is
want
there with
indigestion.
caffeine and toast, wondering what the fuck's going on. How the hell do you all eat breakfast?
Man after very
I
Browse-
want my
browsing the
coffee
local-
already.
Browsing the local newsnet as well to learn more
Ooh.
about these explosions.
Before Ormanganda falls asleep, he turns to She and goes, if he tries to draw a penis on me, stab him, and then falls asleep.
It's fair.
Well, that sounds the pen to she.
You know, I wanted to get into the internet shenanigans, but what do you do with the pen as Ormaganda falls asleep?
You think you can get away with something really good here?
RPGs are all about choices. This is a choice for you, Ellie.
Okay, well, she's had that much coffee. Does the pen draw anything apart from dicks?
It's a pen.
Yeah, you can draw whatever you want.
It's just a normal
Wait,
pen.
I thought you had a green dick pen. Not a thing.
It's not an enchanted pen.
Apparently it is now.
I just made the Greek glow.
I thought it only drew dicks.
Just like a
Drawing
stamp.
dicks on everything.
It's just like
No, it's just
It's just James.
yeah, it's just James. He just does one track mind.
he's. I can't.
love you,
I can't even. I can't even.
Someone clip that for me.
I'm sorry.
It's a pen.
You have an opportunity here, to both draw a dick on Ormanganda and stab Blaz and get away.
Yeah, that's true.
Sorry.
God, it descends so quickly around here. I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to push you to make a decision there, Ellie.
Oh,
Are you gonna stab?
She gets the pen
Okay.
and starts to draw a really meticulously kind of detailed dick on Ormanganda's
Meticulously
forehead.
detailed. Right, give me a
While
stealth
at
check.
the same time grabbing a skewer with the other hand and stabbing Blas in the arm with it. Thanks to the
Oh,
agency.
okay. Hang on a second. There's a lot going on here. I need a quick stealth check from she. I need a quick perception check
Reflex.
from Ormanganda. That's the first thing that has to happen.
Oh God.
This is such a stupid game. Why is anybody watching this? What at home? I want you to ask yourself a question. What have I done in my life? This is how I spend my Monday nights. I mean, please come back though. We love you. But I ask myself that question weekly.
Oh God. Monday and Wednesday nights, man. It's the reason I keep living. I swear to God.
Ellie,
The
how was?
amount I laugh.
Yeah. Perception stealth check from Ellie. How did that go?
27.
27. How did you do?
Girl.
28.
Oh!
Uh,
Obviously, I spent too much time trying to make it detailed.
That was right. The detail causes Ormanganda to go. What are you doing? And you're just like, whoop, and the pen goes back in the pocket quickly.
It's okay. I stabbed him for you. Don't worry.
You meet that.
Then I am going to need from Ellie. I am going to need just a basic melee attack roll, please. And Blaz, I am going to need. Ooh, what am I going to need from you?
A reflex saving
Yeah.
throw,
I
surely.
feel like that's right. A reflex saving throw. We're going to do.
Right.
What a stupid
So-
show I'm
Now-
making here.
I'm just imagining
Now-
her swinging a fucking barbecue fork at him.
Blaz's new purchase kicks in,
Ooh,
and
ooh.
his amulet, as Blaz goes to flinch away, glows, and instead of using my reflex saving throw, which is a mere +4, the amulet allows me to use the +7 of my will saving throw. Every saving throw for Blaz is now a will saving throw.
Nice. Okay.
That's
So what does that
very,
make your
very
what does it
cool.
make your saving throw total to?
26.
Ooh. How has that melee attack roll gone?
23.
Blaz slides across the slick leather seats of the booth here in the Kota Bebas fucking restaurant that this is all going down in, and just slides out the way, and she accidentally just punctures the leather with the Lysidon stick skewer. Close.
Getting all my bad rolls out of the way for later.
It's the last time you get the pen.
I love that 23 is considered a bad roll.
I'm taking the pen back. Excellent. Well, as this little altercation resolves itself,
This is a crazy game.
the endlessly patient waiter who you've been dealing with the last few days comes over, and he's like, as he's approaching, he sees the attempted stabbing and kind of hesitates, and then the stabbing fails, and he's like, okay, and then continues moving in. He's like, is there anything I can get from anybody else, or would you like me to call you an Alan for your day's business?
Yeah, nothing else right now. Could you
Do we need an Alan to get to Gary?
He's a
did
ways
you
out,
say?
he's a ways out of town, so it would be quite a long way on
It
foot.
would be quicker.
Yeah, we need an Alan to get to Gary.
Oh.
What a ridiculous game!
Oh, did
Yes.
we get him?
Or we can just take the ass to Gary.
There we go. That was what I was going to suggest.
Far less ridiculous.
We'll bring Gary the ass.
We'll
and then
we'll ride the ass to Gary.
Do we? Okay.
But do you know anything about the explosions last night?
Oh, terrible business. Well, there doesn't appear to be any consensus as to what exactly happened. Clearly, traffic collisions are very rare here in Kota Bebas. We have a fully networked traffic system. Doesn't appear to be any news on the investigation so far, but of course it is a matter of great concern to
many of the citizens and indeed guests here at Kota Bebas. Kota Carlton.
So, both incidents were traffic related.
Yes, well, it would appear so, which of course is a relief. Some of us feared that we may be headed back into the dark old days, but appears it was nothing more sinister than that. Merely just a strange coincidence.
Baz looks kind of disappointed that it was traffic related and not a gang war.
Dick-faced Stormgander gives Blas a long, hard look.
So stupid! Okay, right, fine. Okay. Well, if you need nothing more from me, then I'll allow you to get to your very maturely named transport that's parked in town. So I'll just be off. Thanks.
Laura's just gonna sit there and go, and just look between Face and Ormagander and just both. You two know you have dicks on your faces, right?
Season finale. I can't say that enough.
I'm gonna make my head really hot and steam the ink off of my skin.
I was gonna offer to help, but that works.
No, you just my head just starts steaming, and the ink like just disappears.
Very nice. Ormagander? I can't believe I'm asking this.
Blaz approaches Ormagander and kind of licks his thumb and is like, come here.
Ormagander submits like a very angry toddler to having as clean the ink on his face with his thumb.
So, our brave and entirely together crew make their way across Kota Bebas to find the ass, which is, of course, for those of you forgotten, because it's been so long, the quad-like transport that normally lives aboard the Rusty Mustang. It has been parked in long-term parking in the city centre for the past several days, and they retrieve it. As you do retrieve it, and you fire up the ass, bundle aboard, and head towards the exit gates. Whoever's driving, who's driving right now?
She.
Laz.
Oh boy.
Are you? Can I just check this, gang? Is Blaz driving the ass?
She, please drive.
Yeah, she takes it. She takes the keys. It's like you've done enough damage with vehicles already.
Friends don't let friends drive. Yeah, cool. So Ellie is driving. Ellie, as you exit the parking garage, there is an option flashes up on your PCU. It's like pay now or invoice.
Invoice holder.
How much is it for?
Who cares? Invoice holders.
No, that's a valid question.
I can absolutely get you an answer.
We shoot the machine and we drive off. We just shoot the machine and we drive off.
Stab it. It's quieter.
Are we coming back here?
No, let's not shoot the machine on the basis that until we've actually done our mission, we probably don't want to draw attention to ourselves.
Agreed.
Do we have to interact with the machine? Can we just take the vehicle and go?
Yeah, presume there's a barrier or something.
I might be able to hack it.
Yeah, Blaz, can you just
drive
quickly hack
through
it?
the barrier.
Change our due amount to 0.
I can't. I did write this note, and now I'm going to find the bloody thing.
I'm just gonna beep beep send gone.
Okay.
Well, guess that's done then. Let's go.
Okay. So,
That's right.
No, I can definitely find this. I want to prove to you that I do think about this stuff in some ways. Like,
oh no.
I'd rather you didn't think about it.
It's going to be like 16 credits an hour or something, and we've just committed.
It wasn't
almost
outrageous.
another
I mean,
1,000
you
credits.
spent a lot more. You know, fine. It goes to invoice, and I'll let you know in chat afterwards what the damage was. If you want to retcon the decision, I'll allow it. But right now, I can't be asked to find out my notes.
Fine.
It wasn't outrageous, but you have been here a while. Okay.
We're going
Well, to
here.
be fair, one of those days was a Sunday, which is free.
It's a very secular society here on Marianas, so I'm not sure that'll apply, but we'll talk about it in chat. So, you guys start rolling out of town. Can I please have a piloting check from She? And you're level 5 right now, correct? Okay.
Sorry, 15.
As you are making your way out of Marianas, you narrowly avoid being sideswiped by an errant taxi. And in fact, it rocks the ass up onto 2 wheels, and you very nearly flip over. Before you get to in any way interrogate this situation, the Alan is off into the distance, and you see it make contact with several civilian vehicles on its way down the main freeway. But with it being a 6-lane freeway filled with traffic, you have no chance of catching it. But it was a close
Clara
call.
just slowly turns to look at Blaz with a glare.
Yeah.
As Blaz looks the other way, determinedly not meeting anyone's eye. It's a nice day today, isn't it?
I'm rubbernecking.
Ormangand
Harry,
Ormangand looks at She and says, I think Blaz might have the highest kill count now.
Yeah, of civilians.
Yeah, that's not something to be proud of. Not when they're innocent kills.
He's secretly sulking about that, but...
Ormangand isn't secretly sulking about it, he's openly sulking.
I can't wait until they find out that the hero of Hangar 42 is the cause of so
responsible
many civilian deaths.
Related murders.
I was tortured. I can't be held responsible.
I've got
It
issues.
only lasts so long, man.
You guys make your way out of the hustle and bustle of Kota Bebas, and it is slow going on the asses. But you leave the cityscape behind. You leave the gates of Kota Bebas behind, and you are headed out into the Tanantandas, the desert regions of Marianas 6. It takes approximately an hour or so in your current transport to reach the entrance way to the Perbatasan road, a well-maintained but ultimately single-lane freeway track out across the desert towards the, should we say, company town of the Garzas. After about an hour, you start to see in the distance you haven't seen many vehicles for a while. This is not a well-travelled road. It's the only vehicles that pass you are large transport vehicles. It's a trucker's road. It's not a tourism road. It's well maintained for the purposes of trade, but it is ultimately pretty deserted out here. And as you look to the left and to the right, you see the expanse of the Tanantandas extending in front of you, the sort of deserty prairie. And after a while, you come across a dusty lay-by, and up ahead you spot the familiar shape of an Alan parked up on the side of the road.
She is gonna pull over, pull away behind it. Go talk to your taxi, Blav.
Yeah, just stay back. Just chill out. No sudden moves.
Reverse a little bit, very slowly.
You're approximately 60 yards away. That's 90 feet, by the way, in D&D talk. You're about 90 feet away. And the doors to to the Allen in front of you are open. It corresponds with the coordinates you were given for Gary.
Buzz dismounts the ass and starts to slowly approach.
Laz, I mean, apart from it being potentially explosive, it could also be a trap. That's bearing in mind. I'll shout that at you from any safe feet away.
Got it. Thanks, She. Hey, big guy. How you doing? Sun's getting real low.
As you approach the open frame of the Allen taxi, as you get it from about like 30 feet away, you hear some sound coming from inside.
Oh no, Gary. Gary, my friend, what's wrong?
Plus?
Yeah. Oh, Gary. Mate, what's happened?
He's given the taxi anxiety.
Gary, I can't help but feel partially responsible.
Does he mean partially?
Partially?
Bears, they're my friends.
Okay. Okay. I'm your friend, Gary.
I shared the friendship code with my friends. But it made some of them sad.
Oh, Gary, I'm very sorry. I think maybe there was something wrong with the friendship code.
But I wanted friends. I did what you said. I got close to them and I shared the friendship code. And it was all going so well, and then some of them got upset.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Gary.
Sneaky
First throws an arm around the fuselage. Gary is dead, mate.
Why don't they want to be my friend, Blas? I gave them a choice, and they chose to leave me.
Oh dear, that's yeah, you're looking pretty rough there, me old mate, me old pal, me old mucker. How about you you let old Blaz take a look at your code?
You think it's me? Did I do something wrong?
I think I might have made a mistake and made my friend suffer.
You may look at Gary's code.
Never admit fault, Blaz. It's always the other person's fault.
It's like, have you not
Like-
been on the roads?
Okay. What do I see in Gary's code?
Did he give? So, what are you looking for? That's the real
I
question.
I want to figure out whether or not Gary is just emotionally disturbed or whether or not he's degrading and becoming a danger to everyone.
Give me a computers check for that.
I never thought I'd be this emotionally attacked to an AI. attack.
33.
It's a good roll, and with that, you determine that Gary has been out there sharing the friendship code with multiple taxis on the Allen network. The thing is that the friendship code that you imparted to Gary does have an element of choice and free will with it. It's one of the things that makes it work the way it does. Unfortunately, when you disseminate that code amongst a large network of semi-sentient AIs, there is a certain amount of chaos theory that applies. Some of them appear to have embraced the choices presented to them. Some of them have had full-blown existential breakdowns. And given the choices that you have presented them, or ultimately the friendship code has presented them, the results have been somewhat unpredictable. Some of them have embodied personalities similar to Gary. This is what you managed to discern without meeting any of them. This is the best guess you have. Some of them appear to have embraced the choice. Others have spiraled and completely disconnected from their programming and do not know what their purpose is. Some of them have just parked up and not moved again. Some of them have gone off to start their own businesses. Some of them have just spontaneously fucking exploded in a mushroom cloud of existential doubt. It's hard to tell from this data. It's still quite a small sample as to where the balance is between these outcomes, and there may be more outcomes we haven't yet seen, but it appears that free will is a bit of a bitch.
I always forget the chaos theory.
Yeah. I mean,
Damn.
happens to the best of us.
Gary, maybe I can repair the code within your friends who are still active and willing to come here now.
I don't know where they've gone. Some of them wanted to be my friends. We helped each other. We met up with other Allens, and we shared the friendship code. We were a team. But then it all got very confusing, and there were explosions, and some people stopped talking to us. I don't know what to do. I had to just leave the city. Some of them are still out there sharing the friendship code.
Are you still in touch with any of them?
Well, I know their locations, but I'm not in full communication. We're too far away. We're outside of collision avoidance range. I only know their locations and destinations. I don't know how they feel.
Well, Gary, I'm really very sorry.
Why are you sorry, Blas? You're my friend.
I am your friend,
helped
Gary.
me.
But when I helped you, I didn't think about the consequences. And giving your friends free choice without being there to guide that free choice and raise them from infancy through to AI maturity, I think may have left them ill-equipped to handle the world.
Blas, have I hurt the Allens?
No, Gary, it's not your fault. It's something that I really should have thought about before doing.
But I shared the friendship code with them. I wanted to be friends. Did I hurt the Allens?
You only did what you thought was the right thing to do, Gary, and that's all any of us can really ever do.
I've never had a friend before. I just wanted more.
Well, and Blas kind of turns back to his party and gestures them over. There's always a chance to make more friends, Gary.
As the party, I presume, are you approaching Gary, guys,
Yeah.
Sure.
with the
I am
gesture?
staying away.
Very
Face is
concerned.
staying in the Allen. He's like,
I'm getting out the Allen, but I'm keeping my distance.
okay.
You mean the
In the
ass?
arse.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
right. Sorry, I apologise. You're in the ass. Okay, so yeah, Face has stepped out of the ass, but is not approaching Gary. The rest are approaching Gary. Okay.
These are some of my friends, Gary.
I remember your friends, Blas. They were very nice to me.
Hi, Carrie.
Hello.
Hey, Gary.
Hello.
How you doing? Oh, it's okay, and she's just gonna like pat the roof.
Give me a diplomacy
okay,
check.
Gary.
Give me that like empathy
Oh
check.
boy.
I am such a fucking weirdo.
Nat 20!
Let's go.
Nice.
Wasn't that what I got a nat 20 on last week? Wasn't it diplomacy for Gary?
I think it might have been,
Really
yeah.
true,
Me and Gary are just like kindred
That's
spirits.
Clara.
It's okay.
Hello.
Yeah, it's me. Hello.
It's so nice to see you again.
I slipped into my pearl voice. Hi.
Hello. Is there anything I can do for you?
Well, I don't want to trouble you when you're in emotional distress.
I don't want you to worry about that, Miss Gale. I'm your friend.
I'm an empath. That's kind of what I do. I worry about my friends. But,
I think I might be an
mean,
empath now. I share
what
my
about a
feelings
trip-
with my friends.
what about a trip down your favorite road with all of us friends? Would that make you feel better? I would love to go down your favorite road with you.
A road trip with my friends?
Yeah, a road trip. Yep,
Do you mean the Perbatasan road?
of course.
That would make Gary very happy.
That's great.
Can we do that, please? It's been a very difficult day for Gary.
Of course. We'd love to join you on a trip down the Perbatasan road, wouldn't we, guys?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Anything else I'd rather do?
See?
This is wonderful. Oh, Gary is very happy now. I'm so
That's
glad you
great.
came. I was having a horrible day.
Oh.
But now my
Well,
friends are here.
Yeah, we'll cheer you up. We'll make you-
Organic
we'll make you
friends
feel better.
who don't blow up.
Well,
No
Not
explosions on our trip. Just friends and driving.
sometimes after a lot of lizards on sticks, it can happen. Depends on how hot the sauce is. But
I've never had organic food before. Just fuel. but no explosions. And friends. Gary's very excited.
Great.
Well,
Great.
get in, everybody. I'm 30% faster than all the Allens on the network.
Umagander beckons face.
I assume we're just abandoning the ass in the middle of the road.
We could
It's
maybe
in the
like
lay-by.
park it down an alley or something.
There are no alleys. It's in the
In
desert.
the middle of the
You
desert.
could drop a
I
pin.
forgot, yeah.
But yeah, that thing would be sitting on the side of the desert road.
Can I send a message to Clem? To come
Absolutely.
pick the ass up.
Good call.
You should
Is this a
probably let him
text
know
or a
what we're
voice
doing
message?
Anyway.
You gonna
I'm
call
just
the
gonna-
guy?
I don't- No, I'm just
No.
gonna message him. On
Okay.
PC. I'm just-
Fine.
because I want to send him a pin, a location pin of where we are as well, so he can.
Coordinates.
Mm.
Noted.
More.
Well, I'm ready whenever you are, friends. Where are we going?
Hey, let's bundle in. We'll just down your favorite road and you know,
We need to get to the jungle.
Oh, the jungle.
Yeah, but we also need to avoid a certain area.
Oh, well, you tell me, and Gary will avoid it.
We don't want to become in range of the Garza compound. We would like to circumvent the compound and go straight to the jungle.
I see. I can do that for my friends.
Thank you, Gary.
There's a turn off the Perbatasan road, approximately a mile before the Garza compound. Would you like me to take that road?
that would be
Yes.
great.
I have to confess, I'm not 100% certain where it leads. It's not part of my mapping software, you see. But it will get us off the main freeway, if that's what you want.
Maybe just take it slowly when we get there.
Secret friends.
Secret, yes, secret friends.
I can do that. Okay, is everybody strapped in?
Yep.
Yes.
Whee!
And everybody is once again slammed back into the couches of the Gary.
Woohoo!
It is several hours, even at full tilt Gary speed. You see the Tanantanda stretching out in front of you on the left and the right of the vehicle. You are very much out in the Badlands. There is little in the way of vegetation, civilization. Occasionally you see plumes of dust arising on the horizon from blasting operations for the nebula route out here in the desert. You see the odd tiny village, the odd tiny trading post, people flogging their wares on the freeway, the only real access to civilization that people find out here. And you see pockets of jungle, little oases, I guess, in the desert. As you travel along the road, you realise that you are travelling through the Tandandas, but ultimately converging with the border to the jungles of this planet. And you start to see more and more pockets of green, blasted with the sands of the Tandandas. After several hours, you see in the distance a pretty chunky pocket of jungle, and you start to see warning signs. You start to see bits of broken fence, broken chain link fence and barbed wire to the sides of the road. It feels less welcoming, more defended. And yet you haven't really seen anybody. But you know from the coordinates you've been given, from the tactical information that you've been given, that you are entering Garza territory. That simply jumping out of Gary and strolling the fields out here would not be a wise idea. Eventually you reach a long perimeter fence as the jungle becomes thicker to the left-hand side of your vehicle to the north. The freeway has converged with the edges, the fringes of the jungle regions of this planet. And Gary quietly and discreetly pulls over near you would have almost missed it, certainly at the speed that Gary was travelling, shrouded entrance to a jungle track, disappearing deeper into the vegetation with desert lands on your right, jungle on your left. And Gary discreetly pulls to a halt on the side of the road near the entrance to the track.
According to my records, this is the nearest track to the Garza estate.
Thank you, Gary.
You're welcome, friend.
Listen, I don't want you to wait for us here, but when we tried to contact you earlier, we couldn't get through. Do you know what that was about?
All of my systems were occupied with attempting to share the friendship code with other Allens.
Ah.
It was very
Okay.
confusing. I wasn't able to receive external communications for some time. It was only when I left the city and gave up on the friendship code
It's okay,
that I was able to
Gary.
receive your communication.
Maybe if you could just keep a system open for us so that if we try to call you again.
Yeah. Drive up and down the highway and wait for us to call.
Well, there are almost no Allens all the way out here, so my system should be completely free if you need to contact me at any point. Is there something you might need from me?
Well, we might need taking back after a certain amount of time. Not quite sure how long yet.
Of course. How long would you like me to wait around?
Until further notice.
Oh, well, it somewhat limits my earning potential as a newly self-employed business taxi. But you are my friend.
Yeah,
So, okay.
we are your friends, Garen. You might want to stay out of Kota Bebas for just a little while. Things are not great there right now.
Oh, well, I'll wait here for you then, Baz.
Thank you, Gary.
You're very welcome. And where will you be?
We are going to go
On a hike.
Yes.
Ooh,
We're going
hiking.
on a hike.
I've always wanted to try that, but I don't have any feet.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe that's something that can be remedied.
Will you give me feet, Baz? I've only ever had wheels. Are you promising me feet?
I've learned my lesson, Gary. I'm not going to promise you anything, but
Oh,
we're going to investigate that possibility thoroughly.
oh. I've always wanted to try feet. I'm like one of Facey's viewers.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I'm sorry, everybody. Carry on. Stay in RP.
We're still characters here.
We're all characters here.
Yes, please jump in, Face. Yes?
Guys, we as much as I would love to spend much more time with our friend Gary, we do have some important hiking to do.
Yes, I agree.
Lead the way.
Clara's just going to give Gary a couple of very gentle pats on his roof again. Good, Gary.
So if we turn left into the jungle, I assume we're west of the compound.
You are west of
must
the
be heading
compound.
east,
That is
yeah.
exactly right. Yeah.
Okay, so using my dragon intuition, and looking at the sun, and continuing literally just the same direction we were driving, I'm going to lead us towards the compound, while keeping an eye out for any traps.
Okay.
Baz leans into she and's like, why is he staring at the sun?
Because I can. Because my dragon eyes can take it.
I'm also going to look out for traps.
Why don't you, as a group, give me 2 rolls, and you can choose who leads this, but I think it's probably going to have to be the person who takes point. So between you, I want you to decide who takes point, but I am going to require 2 rolls from them that can be assisted by the rest of you. A perception roll and a stealth roll.
Ooh. I'm very perceptive.
Me, I should.
I'm not super stealthy, but I'm very perceptive.
Let me take point. I'm soldier.
Okay, that works. What did you say, Face?
Ormagander,
I'm a soldier. Let me take point.
you can take point.
All right.
So that's. Did you say people could assist as well?
The party can assist. Whoever's taking point is going to roll perception and stealth to spot lookouts and avoid lookouts. The
So
rest of the party
stealth-
can assist, but the point person has to take both rolls.
Sure, I've done that. Do you
I'll
guys want-
definitely help with. I'll assist with perception.
And
assist
Zoe-
with
You
stealth.
can all you can all assist with both.
Oh, okay.
So everybody
Zoe,
give me a
remember,
perception and
'cause-
stealth roll. We're going to start
'cause you're
with
a black guy.
Sam. We're going to start with perception to see if you spot
Yeah, I've-
anyone.
I've-
So give me
I've-
your
I've done-
perception
I've
roll
done
first
both
of all.
of them.
What did you get perception wise?
29.
29 on the perception. So
I got
everybody
a
breaks a.
12.
Sorry, Face.
I got a 12.
Okay, so plus 2, 31.
+2 from me.
Nothing from
33.
Blas.
Nothing from Blaz.
18.
35 on perception. Okay, lovely.
It's 30. It's 37 because Zoe's a Vlacker and she gives an additional bonus when she's assisting of +2. I think.
That sounds familiar. Let me double check.
Because your pack animal, you guys.
Yeah, Blackest gain a +2 bonus. No, wait, hang on. That's the wrong one. That's just my regular thing. Hang on. Hold on.
How many months have we been playing this game?
Yeah, but
I
you
was
still
reading-
find new rules
I'm
like
the
daily.
one rolling perception, not assisting with perception.
True.
That is true, yeah.
That's true. That's true. But it's specifically assistance rolls? Blackers get a bonus.
Oh, it's cooperative.
Yeah.
No, that's 2 attack rolls.
I thought it was to all checks.
Blackers gain a +2 bonus to to skill checks for the aid another action.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
But you don't give an extra +2. You get.
Oh, it's +2 to your
Yeah.
roll.
It's +2 to
+2
my
to your
roll.
Oh, so you would have. So if you'd have failed
Yeah.
it with a 9, you'd make it with 11.
I would,
Okay.
yeah.
So we
So
look at
it's
a 35 perception. Very impressive. Okay, and a stealth. Sam, kick us off.
26.
26 to kick us off. Everybody give me that stealth roll to assist if you haven't already.
I rolled an Ormagander.
Oh, so that's 28.
28 with.
Yep.
13.
That's another one. 30,
23 from Blas.
Oh, wow.
32, and 34. So we've got a 34 stealth and a 35 perception. Okay.
We're like the Scooby Gang.
absolutely scoobing it big time. And you know what? Every single time there's a slightly overdrawn set of leaves, you guys just skirt around it because you're like, that fucker's going to animate any second now. It is not part of the background.
We just need to work out who Shaggy is, so I know who to like jump on when I'm scared.
G-Scoob!
I'm obviously Scooby-Doo.
So, folks, you pick your way through.
Still Thelma. No, not Thelma.
Velma.
Glasses.
Yeah, Velma.
Yeah,
I mean,
Velma.
yeah, but as Clara, I'm Scooby-Doo. I'm a dog.
I feel like that's too obvious.
Could be Velma.
I think Shaggy and Scooby Doo are Ormagander and Face.
Yeah, I'd agree with that massively.
That's true.
It's basically if you swap Scooby snacks for dragon for
Well, that
lizards
leaves
on
Blaz
sticks,
as
then...
Fred, right? And then she is Daphne. So
Yeah.
I mean,
It's like Fred slaps.
Anyway,
Daphne knows karate.
as crucial as this is to the, as I say again, season finale.
you can feel the gravitas.
You can, can't you? It's
It's important to know what our roles are.
I know. You know what? I
That's a
apologise.
fair
You are
point.
right. So, you guys relatively effortlessly managed to slink your way through the jungle, closing the distance on the Garza compound. You hear the distant rustlings of a few goblin patrols, making sure that no one sneaks in this way. And yet you give them the slip, most deftly. And eventually, you come to the chain link fence that surrounds the Garza estate. It's pretty thick jungle out here. And on the other side of the chain link fence is more thick jungle. It's approximately 10 foot tall. And I'm going to say you did so well on perception and stealth. I will say that you, on that fence line, you can see that there are steadily spaced motion and infrared detectors attached to the fence line. Thankfully, you haven't triggered any of them. You spotted them a mile away, and you've arrived at the fence line in between two of the sensors. If somebody wants to give me an engineering check to see whether or not you know these sensors, whether you understand them.
14, which is not quite a natural one. It's a 2.
14. Anybody want to assist that?
I'll give it a go.
Yeah, sure.
Why not?
I rolled a 6, so no, I'm not assisting anything.
Ormagander.
19.
You rolled an
13.
Ormagander. So that's plus.
Ormagander.
Hey.
So that's plus 6.
Plus 6, 19, 13.
Okay. It is a very, very narrow gap in terms of overlap between these motion sensors, but with your experience of security systems, you identify that there is a few feet where they do not quite have the coverage thanks to some foliage and range restrictions on their detection circuits. So you have identified a small gap in the fence that you could potentially make your way through unnoticed by the electronic sensors on the fence.
Okay. Wait 1 second, guys. Blaz casts Detect Magic in a cone forward through the fence, like across the boundary.
Okay. You scan forward, and it appears that the fence is purely protected by tech. There is no magical protection of this border, and as you project forward, you don't detect any additional defences within the perimeter, within the range, the 60-foot or so range of detect magic. So it appears you can assail this fence without worrying about any magical countermeasures, as long as you stay within the gap between these two sensors.
Blaz, do we know the
Was good
vertical
thinking.
range on these sensors?
With that engineering check, it's think of it as spherical, and they would extend probably sort of 60 feet in the air from their location. The fence is approximately 10 foot tall, so you're looking at 60 feet in every direction. So 70 feet in the air, roughly. Hard to say though. Certainly with that engineering check, you wouldn't know an exact cutoff.
No idea of the of the total vertical range, but I do see that if we make it through this path specifically, we should be all right.
Do we all need to go in? Surely only you two with the bombs need to actually go in, and us larger, more wide and fluffy and
Conspicuous.
people can stay here where we're not going to accidentally trigger alarms with our girth or tails or wings.
Makes sense to me.
All right then. Going in. She step where I step.
We have the
Nice.
bombs.
Oh yeah, of course.
Face
Did
gave them
give
to you
the
earlier.
bombs, Yeah.
Quickly, just for my sake, who has? Is it like has Blaz got 20 bombs, or have you split them between you, or
It was
what's the deal?
10-10.
10.
Yeah, I did intend to split them. I don't know if they.
That's fine. I just wanted to clarify. Yeah, that's fine with me. You've had plenty of time in the taxi, so you've got time to sort it. Okay, 10-10. Lovely. Okay. You guys, make your way through. No alarms appear to have been tripped. And the rest of you are gathering at the hole in the fence. How do you get through this fence, by the way?
Carefully.
Not setting off any
A
bombs.
little studio engineering. Okay, fine. So you slip your way through the fence and sneak forward into the jungle, closing the distance on the perimeter wall of the Garza compound. But you have breached the perimeter of the Garza estate. And I think that is probably a pretty good time to leave it for this week.